If you have sat through even one AI demos in the last year, you probably had the same thought. This looks amazing, why aren't we using it? Then someone says, let's build one. A few weeks later, the conversation changes. Instead of talking about AI, you're talking about legacy systems, security, reviews, data access, governance, and budgets. And you realize building the agent wasn't the hardest part. Running it inside a real business is. Welcome to Visionary Voices, a podcast series by To The New. I am your host Manmeet Dayal. Today, we are talking about what happens after the demo, when AI agents move into production, meet the realities of an enterprise, and have to deliver business value day after day. Joining me today is Himani Gupta, GenAI practice lead at To The New. Himani brings over 18 years of experience in technology leadership and is passionate about helping organizations harness GenAI to solve real business challenges and drive innovation. Himani, welcome to Visionary Voices.
Thank you, Manmeet. I'm glad to be here. We are at a fascinating point in AI's evolution, and AI agents are heart of that transformation. I'm looking forward for our discussion today.
Before we get into the enterprise reality, let's start with the basics. Everyone is calling everything an AI agent. What is a real litmus test for something to be truly agentic?
Yeah, I'm glad, Manmeet, that you've asked me this question because this is becoming a problem now. Every automation workflow is suddenly being called an agent. If I ask something to summarize a document, that's useful, but that's not an agent. However, if I ask it to investigate a support issue, figure out what's wrong, pull the right data, decide the next best action, and resolve it, that's start becoming an agentic. An agent needs 4 things: a goal, reasoning, decision making, and action. And one more important thing that people generally miss is feedback. It has to learn from what happened. That loop of observe, decide, act, adapt, and that's what it makes it real.
The distinction between capability and readiness is exactly what I want to dig into next. Because most people first encounter with AI agents is a demo, and demos are convincing. What is the biggest lies AI demo tell us?
Yeah. So, Manmeet, the biggest lie I would say AI demos tell us is that if the demo works, the product is ready. That's what everyone focuses on. You see an agent handling customer support, generating report, fixing code, and it looks magical. And to be fair, the intelligence is impressive. But the demo creates that illusion that once the model works, the problem is solved. But that's the lie, trust me. Because in the real world, intelligence is just one piece. The actual challenge starts after the demo. Can it work within business rules? Can it deal with exceptions? That's where things get real. A great demo proves possibility. It doesn't prove readiness. A lot of people confuse between these two aspects.
So, what's the part that never makes it into the production stage?
The operational reality. Demo shows success, but production tests failure. What happens when the data is incomplete, an API goes down, or a business rules change? That's where most of the engineering effort actually goes.
So, Himani, everybody is talking about hallucinations. What's the failure mode nobody is talking about?
Silent failure, Manmeet. That's the one nobody talks about enough. A hallucination is obvious, and AI says something wrong. But can you catch it? Silent failure is different. The AI gives you an answer that looks right, sounds confident, and feels complete. But it misses something which is very important.
So, you're saying the agent doesn't crash, it just quietly starts making bad decisions.
Yeah, so maybe it skipped a step, maybe it ignored context, maybe it didn't check an edge case, and nobody notices it. That's much more dangerous because in enterprises, what happens is the biggest risk isn't always being wrong, that's being almost right. That's where mistakes slip through. And honestly, that's why monitoring AI agent is so important. Not because they fail badly, but because sometimes they fail quietly.
So, if silent failure is the risk, how do you actually clear the bar? Like, how do you know an agent is actually production ready? Not impressive, not promising, but actually ready.
An agent is production ready when you trust it outside the happy path. Because demos are all happy path. Real production is actually messy. Inputs are incomplete, systems fail, rules change, users ask weird things. But that's normal. So I don't judge an agent by how well it performs when everything is working. I judge it by these three things. First, does it know when it is unsure? Second, does it fail safely? And the third and the important thing is it predictable? Can I trust how it behaves across 1000 similar scenarios? And that's the real benchmark, I would say. Because in enterprises, mostly right isn't enough. It has to be reliable, explainable, and controllable.
An agent moves from a clean demo onto the messy enterprise floor. What is the first thing that usually breaks?
Well, I would say context. That's usually the first thing that breaks. In demos, agents work with clean inputs, clear rules, and predictable systems. While in enterprises, none of that is actually true. The same customer might exist in three different systems, exceptions are often undocumented, and the real rules usually live in people's head. That's where agents struggle. They are good at logic, but business run on context, and the context is actually very messy. So, an agent that looks brilliant in the demo can feel unreliable in production. Not because that the agent got worse, but because reality got more complicated.
Listening to you, it almost sounds like AI isn't the weakest link. Is this really an AI problem or a system problem?
See, most of the time, it's a systems problem. AI is usually exposing what was already broken. Messy data, unclear workflows, disconnected systems. In a demo, those gaps doesn't show up. While in production, they show up immediately.
Now let's talk about money. Agents loop, reason, and try again. And every step costs tokens. Have you seen cases where an agent did the job, but the ROI wasn't just there?
Absolutely, Manvi. And I think this is a conversation that industry needs to have more openly. Just because an agent can solve something doesn't automatically mean it's worth using one. I have seen workflows where the agents work perfectly, but the cost of multiple reasoning loops, retries, and tool calls makes it too expensive for the value it was creating, especially for high volume and low complexity tasks. At that point, traditional automation can be cheaper and faster. And that's the key people miss. Agents make the most sense when the decision itself is valuable, where there is an ambiguity, context, and real thinking involved. If the task is repetitive and predictable, you don't need an agent, you just need a good software. That's where ROI becomes the real filter.
That actually leads to a question I find fascinating, Himani, because it changes how you think about managing agents entirely. So, should agents be managed more like software or more like people?
Honestly, Manmeet, a bit both of them. At the infrastructure level, they are software. You deploy them, monitor them, and optimize them. But the way they behave, they are starting to feel more like a junior team members. You give them a goal, you define boundaries, you review their output, and over time, you build trust. So I think the right mindset is to treat them like softwares but supervise them like people. That's probably the most practical way to think about it right now.
So, will companies eventually need managers for agents, Himani?
I think so, but not in the traditional way. Not someone doing 101 with the agents, but definitely people whose job is to oversee them. Think of it like managing a digital workforce. You will need people to decide which tasks agent should handle, while humans should step in, and how to improve that balance over time. So yes, I don't think agent management will become a real function, not because agents replace people, but because they become part of how work gets done.
That's a real organizational shift. What's the one question CIOs should be asking about AI agents that almost nobody's asking today?
Yeah. So, Manmeet, I think the question is what decision am I comfortable delegating, not just what tasks can I automate. That's a much more important question because AI agents are not just doing work anymore. They are increasingly making choices inside that work. And that actually changes things. A task is easy to measure, a decision comes with the risk, accountability, and a business impact. And I think you would agree with me. I think a lot of CIOs are still looking at AI through an automation lens, but the real shift is delegation. And the earlier they start thinking that way, the better prepared they are.
You've given us a lot to think about today, Himani. But let's flip the energy. Rapid fire, quick answers. Are you ready?
Absolutely, Manmeet. Let's go for it.
Alright then. What's the first thing you would delegate to an agent?
My inbox, because half of my stress comes from emails pretending to be urgent.
Most overrated AI buzzword?
Tokens. Every AI idea sounds brilliant until the invoice shows up.
Autonomy or predictability?
Predictability. Surprises are great for birthdays, terrible for production systems.
One workflow you would trust an agent with today?
Incident triaging. Because machines are better at staying calm at 2 a.m. than humans.
One workflow you would never hand to an agent?
I would say firing someone because some decisions need empathy, not efficiency.
Complete this sentence. The biggest thing people still don't understand about AI agents is
That they are less like magic and more like employees. You still have to train them, watch them, and occasionally clean up after them.
well, that was a wonderful rapid fire, Himani. Thank you so much. As we close, I think the biggest takeaway from today's conversation is that we are no longer asking AI agents can do the work. We are asking whether organizations are ready to work with them.
Yeah, because the challenge isn't building the agent.
It's figuring out where to trust it, how to govern it, and how to work in the real world. Himani, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your perspectives.
Thank you, Manmeet, for having me here.
And thank you for listening to Visionary Voices. If today's conversation sparked a new idea, challenge, or question, take it back to your team and start the discussion. Because the future of AI won't be defined by who builds the most agents. It will be defined by who learns to use them the best. Until next time.